It's about 75 minutes train journey to and from London. Now, the picture that you're looking at is the bird's eye view of the city. This is a vibrant city, and it's also have a harbour and greenery, as you can see with the hot air balloon there, and it's also by the coast. So if you imagine you're an artist, it's very easy to get a change of scenery within reach. In other words, you know, if you want a city view, it's there. If you want the harbour, if within a walking distance, if you want the greenery anywhere, you can see a lot of places are green and it's by a coast. So, you know, it should give you a lot of inspiration while creating your artwork. And then another thing that I should say is Bristol is a student city too, because we got 3 universities in Bristol, and there are a lot of events, a lot of activities going on throughout the years. So hopefully when COVID is getting better, things gone back to more normal, you'll be able to experience all the music, creative arts, everything there. Last but not least, I don't know, have you heard of a graffiti artist called Banksy? He himself actually is from Bristol. And if you come to my city, you'll still be able to see some of his graffiti art dotted around the city. So when you come to studying with us, the campus that you're going to come and study is called City Campus. This one is called Alafini, as actually City Campus is at the heart of the city center. This City Campus is dedicated for students who study creative arts. As you can see from the pictures here, we got special equipments for students to use, and also we got studios as well. So, you know, you're very welcome to use them because your tuition fee has been paid for those. So a quick overview of UWE Bristol. We've got 30,000 students enrolled at the university. Over 3,000 of them are international students. We are top 500 in the world, according to the Time World University rankings. We are ranked 21st in the UK, according to Guardian League Table 2021. And we are top 20 UK universities for good graduate employment prospects. We have 4 faculties. If you study arts with us, that will be arts, creative industry, and education. These are the courses that we are on offer for creative arts. So for example, filmmaking, fine arts, photography, illustration, interior design, fashion textile, fashion communications, graphic design, and animation. As Ravi mentioned, that our film production, photography, and animation actually is 4th in the UK, according to Guardian University Guide 2021. So if you want to apply to study creative art course at UWE Bristol, what we're mainly looking for when you first submit your application, especially via UCAS, it will be your e-portfolio. And then our academic will look at your e-portfolio and then to decide whether or not to provide you an interview. And during the interview, basically what they want to know is, you know, why you want to study the course, what is your passion, what you want to do in future, how the course at UWE Bristol is going to help you. And then after the interview, and if it's deemed to be satisfaction, then you will be offered a conditional offer. And then all you need to do is to meet all the conditions that listed on your conditional offer, and then you'll be able to come and studying with us. UWE Bristol is a highly practical university. We always provide hands-on experience for students during their study. So, for example, we encourage students to do placement, internships, and also we got a career of a service to support students. Now, of course, we work with a lot of companies in Bristol and in the UK. And also, if possible, UWE would provide internships availabilities for students as well, because I used to have a student who studied graphic design, and she has been asked by her tutor if she wants to work as an intern for a few weeks at Spikes Island, which is one of the which is part of the city campus. So, you know, opportunities is always there, because in the end of the day, what we want is to create real world learning experience for students. Here are some of the companies that we work with, as you can see, but we also work with others as well. So like Ackman Animations, which you would have heard of, BBC as well. And then another thing that I should mention is that we got a this particular website, award-winning careers website called GradLink. So it is another way to help students, international students who study in the UK and plan to find job in their home country. As you can see, this website, you know, has various different regions. So for example, Gulf, China, Canada, India, Europe, Africa, etc. And what happened is that students can submit their CV on this website, and our international employers like Coca-Cola, Bosch, etc., would be able to go to this CV pool to interview students in advance before they graduated. So you may get a job even before you have completed your study. And for creative arts students, where our graduates tend to go. So in the past, we got students who have worked for BBC Bristol, especially for the for a documentary area. You know, he got hired as soon as he finished his degree, filmmaking degree. Ackman, so as you can see, is Wallace and Gromit. We got student there, and we got student who finished their graphic design, have been hired at the Sunday Times and Guardians. And also we got students who work for the prop maker for Harry Potter film franchise. So opportunities are there, and it's a lot as well. So here's a very quick introduction of the university, and I hope you've got some idea what's it like about. And if you have any questions, here's my email address, uk.international@uwe.ac.uk. Feel free to contact me. So now I'm gonna turn to Kaina, who is our current student. Hello, Kaina, would you please unmute yourself and introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, hello, I'm Kaina. I am a level 3 fine art and visual culture student, and I've been in Bristol since 2017.
Where are you from?
I am an international student. I am originally Indian, born and brought up in Qatar.
Cool. Yeah, I'm sorry that Kaina's video seems to be a bit of a problem. Normally she would show herself. Sorry about that. I just want to ask you, you know, there are so many creative art courses available, as mentioned earlier on, and you have chosen fine arts. Can you tell us why?
I'm someone who loves working with different mediums, and I think fine art at UWE particularly was a really good one to do because you get to work with different departments, but also work on conceptual ideas.
I see. So one thing that I'm always curious to know from our students is this. There are so many universities available in the UK. Why you end up choosing UWE Bristol for to study for your degree?
I guess, like you mentioned, UWE is a very practical university. You get to do a lot of things, they're all hands-on. I think that's why I picked UWE.
Cool. So now you've been studying with us for some time. So what's it like to study fine arts at UWE Bristol?
It's a very independent course, I would say. The more years you spend on it, and I think that's really refreshing in terms of how the teachers treat us, but they're always there to help us as well. And as a fine arts student, you have access to all the facilities as well across all the different campuses, which is amazing.
So, I mean, one thing that I think you mentioned in the past. Oh, hello there. Oh, finally. Hi. So one thing that you mentioned in the past is that when you study fine arts, you will be able to adapt or use different things like maybe filmmaking, maybe like fashion. Is this something that you have experienced before?
Yeah, so currently I'm working in the fashion textile department, just learning how to use the machines. But I've used printmaking and the photography department as well. So it's nice, even though I do fine art and I have a studio at Spike, we still get to go to bar and use all these facilities.
You see that, this is something about studying at UWE Bristol, especially fine arts. You got a chance to get hands-on experience by using different, materials and equipment available to you. And you could adapt, you can learn any skills that you like. It's endless, isn't it, learning? So how do you find the teaching and the facility in our city campus?
So City Campus is mainly comprised of 3 campuses, and you have access to all of them, which is nice because if you don't feel like going to the studio and just want to use computers, you can just go to Onafini. It's closer to where I live. And what was your first question? Sorry.
I just want to know what's the teaching like?
Yeah. So we don't have set lectures like I guess other courses, but we have a lot of artists that come in and talk and a lot of tutorials. And we also get to have tutorials with the visiting artists, which is cool because it's fresh set of eyes on your project and you get so much feedback from them.
That's great. And so, UWE is a highly practical university, as I mentioned. I know that some of your work has been distributed to the public. Can you tell us more about it, please?
Yeah, so at the end of every semester, all the students get together and put up an exhibition in our studio. And it's open for a private viewing for a couple of hours, and then it's open to the public to come visit our work. It's usually 2 days long, one day for private view and one day for the public, which is nice because Spike Island is a gallery itself. So if there are visitors there and they see that there's like an open thing in our studios, then we have random visitors come visit our work.
Oh, that's cool. So I hope you don't mind. I mean, one thing that one particular artwork that we used to talk about is this one. Can you just tell us a bit more about it in brief?
Yeah, so this is from my project Unsaid Letters, and this is what my submission looked like. The plinth itself is the actual work, and the rest of it is all the supporting material for that semester, which lasted about 3 months roughly. So for submission, this is how we present it. And then as soon as they're done, which takes about less than a week to grade us, we take out all the submission work and we leave the final work for our exhibition.
So just a little bit about this work. My understanding is that it's called Unsaid Letter, if I remember correctly, and you can see a lot of words there on the pillar. Am I right to say that you actually got some information from maybe the public or something, if I remember correctly?
So myself and a friend of mine, we were collecting letters from the public because we were interested in public engagement and trying to put up exhibition with letters and what people had to say. So just a bit of community engagement. And the enamels on top is what I was working on personally. And it was looking at things such as language, thoughts, words, and communication. So yeah.
I see. Okay. So UWE Bristol always encourages students to gain work experience during their studies. One of them is called Student Ambassador Scheme. Needless to say, the main point of the scheme is for our students to promote good work that we, the university and the students, have done and show it to the public. It's also a way for students to do something different and learn new skill that they might not be able to obtain from their studies. Now, I want Kaina to stand up a little just to show her clothes a bit, especially a bit higher, your logo. Yeah, that's it. So this is the UWE uniform. The reason why she's wearing it because she is actually a student ambassador at UWE Bristol. That's how I know her. Now, I wonder, would you be able to let us know what kind of new skill sets that you have picked up, which is valuable to your future employment?
Yeah, I think doing student ambassadors, we do open days, but also get in touch with a lot of different staff and come up with any possible opportunities or how uni can help with different schools, perhaps. For example, doing this talk is a new task for me. So obviously I've gained this experience now, but also I've been working with one of my tutor that I had in my foundation to come up with like a learning package to deliver to schools for little kids, just to get them creative. I think that's me trying to use my skills in a positive way, giving back to the community. Yeah, and I've also met like students from different courses, which is a great way to meet people because there's so many students, so it's like another way to meet like-minded people and come up with exciting projects to work on.
So it sounds like communication skills is definitely one of the things that you have picked up on, which I'm sure a lot of employers would be looking for. Another thing that you would have picked up is public speaking, because this is what we are doing right now, isn't it? And I remember one of the things that we did as well only a few months ago is that you basically have run a workshop for a group of college students, didn't you? And in that, I mean, what did you do again? Can you just explain a bit?
Yeah, so I worked with Wendy to come up with like an hour-long workshop that was fine art related. So it was part me explaining my experience at university, just promoting higher education, but also it was a hands-on experience for the students, and they were creative students, and the next step was higher education, like a university. and what course they wanted to do. So we worked on a little project and we shared our work and spoke about it. So yeah, I was just facilitating that.
Yeah, but even though facilitating, you were basically doing a lot of preparation for that work, and you were basically it's like acting a role as a tutor to sharing your learning experience, which is like learning how to start from a piece from scratch to finish. And this is kind of the knowledge that you have passed on to the next, future students. And then you ask them, like you said, to do an artwork within 15 minutes on that session. So it's like, it's another set of skills that you have learned, how to do management, how to organize your session. And I'm sure this is the kind of the thing that your future employer would be looking for. And this is the highly practical skills that I am trying to emphasize at UWE Bristol, is that even if you don't do placement or internships, if you come and work for UWE, even get the opportunity, you will always have different tasks available, and you never know what skills you pick up. And of course, the most important thing is you put yourself forward like you did. Now we are based in Bristol, and your campus is at the heart of the city. How do you find the city? And if the city itself might have inspired you to your work?
I love how it's in the city, and there are like different campuses as well, and like I tend to walk or get a bus, and like you mentioned, Bristol has its city view and its greenery side, and some of the campuses in the city and some is towards the greenery area. So you get that real sense of change when you go from one campus to another. And depending on what kind of work I have to do, I pick which place that I want to go to. But also Bristol is a very creative place. You see musicians around, a lot of artists around doing different kind of artwork. So you never know who you stumble across and have a conversation with and get inspired. So in terms of that, it is really amazing, especially when you're stuck and don't know what's happening.
Wow, that's cool. So of course, to do a degree is not just about studying, but also to enjoy the whole experience. Do you mind to let us know what's your social life like while you're studying here with us?
I think like UWE itself is quite multicultural, let alone Bristol, the city. I wasn't expecting it to be this multicultural, but it is, and that's really good. So in terms of social life, everyone comes from different background, so you get to do like different things with different people, whether it be nightlife, if that's your scene. If it's not, you just hang about. There's different things to do. There's a lot of galleries that you can go to, a lot of music gigs before obviously COVID happened, but there's a lot of music live gigs, but also concerts that happen, that if that's your thing, you can go. There's so many vintage markets that you can visit, which was kind of new for me and exciting. But yeah.
So of course, at UWE Bristol, we got something called a student union. And they create a lot of societies and sport clubs available. Have you ever joined any of this?
Yeah, I forgot to mention, I've been part of a lot of clubs in my first year because I was trying to meet new people. And then obviously because of time constraint, I decided to pick on UWE basketball, and I've been a part of it since my first year. I've been part of the committee as well. So just organizing things for the club. I've made my way through up different roles over there. And yeah, so like back when everything was normal, once a week, every day was just for basketball, like half the day was just for basketball, visiting games and also playing. And you meet a lot of people.
Sorry, yeah. Did you do any competition by any chance?
For basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're enrolled into the box league, which is with different university and college. So you compete and you get to like go to different universities to play them as well.
Wow. So basically, you meet a lot of people and open up your network by, doing a lot of social activities, walking around the city center, etc. And so I think this is kind of my final question for you, is that now you are on your final year, so I believe that you must be thinking about your future careers. Can you tell us what you might like to do once you've completed your study?
Yeah, I'm still in the middle of working things out, just because the things that you can do with a fine art degree, I think, is endless. So it really depends on what your interest is. And right now it's looking like marketing or digital creative content for me. And I'm always in close conversation with someone from the UWE careers team. And I have been since, I think, end of my second year. So he knows where I'm at, my situation in terms of visa, which is really helpful. Like you find all the information online, but it's really nice to have someone help you through that journey of yours. And they're always sending opportunities that you could potentially work on. So yeah, I'm still in the middle of looking for things alongside them.
Yeah. So one thing that I should have mentioned as well is that our career service is that once you're graduated from UWE Bristol, you can use it for next 3 years. Okay, so basically that's the end of our presentation today. I've got to say thank you so much, Kaina, for joining with me again today. To promote UWE work, to promote the creative art courses. What's so different, what's so interesting about it? Experimental, highly practical university, hands-on experience. If this is something that you like to do, then this is a university that you should consider, I personally think. And I think Kaina might agree with it.
I would suggest this university.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wendy.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Wendy, and thank you, Kainat. Glad to see you finally, and wonderful. I mean, I may have a couple of short questions if I'm allowed to ask them.
Oh yes, please do.
Kainat, I mean, you said you're studying fine arts at UWE. I mean, what is the total duration of this particular course?
So it's a 3-year long course,
Okay.
but I've been here for another year because I decided to do art and design foundation and then move on to fine art.
Okay, wonderful. And one question to you, Wendy. I mean, are there any scholarships for Indian students available at UWE Bristol? Would you be in that?
That so depends on how you apply for it. I do have a colleague who work in India, might run scholarship for Indian students. So to be honest, it so depends on how you apply and who in a way. But what my understanding is that normally if a scholarship is available and you have applied with us, especially have a conditional offer, you would be contacted by my colleague in India to explain what sort of scholarship that they might be running.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Wendy, for your time. Thank you, Kainat, and I wish you all the very best. And I'm sure, I mean, there will be a day when you'll fly back from London via Doha, Qatar to India, and we kind of, get to any of the coffee shops at the airport. I so look forward to that, and I wish you all the very best. And stay well, stay safe, and stay indoors. I mean, the world is going through another pandemic, a second wave.
Yeah, good luck.
We all should
good luck where you are as well.
So great, and have a great week ahead, and all the best to both of you.
Okay,
Thank you
well,
so
thank you
much.
very much.
Thank you, Kaina. Thank you, Wendy. Bye.
Okay, bye.